Hey y'all, daughter of the divine. Just want to give a little background about myself. Um, Growing up in the Midwest, um, I've always been one to see things in my dreams, like prior to them happening. I would see things and I didn't understand it. As a young person, I shunned it away because every time I would mention it to someone, they never understood, or they just kind of thought that it was weird or not real. And then when it comes to pass, then they look at me like, you know. So, one of the incidents, the last incident that really made me push it away was a time when I was with a very good friend of mine and we were having a great time. We were actually, I don't know if we were celebrating anything because we were always kind of kicking it. We had our schnapps and our little joints. We were smoking weed back then. And all of a sudden, this one didn't come to me as a dream. It just hit me. And straight out of laughter, I got really serious. And it's like when the message came to me, I couldn't do anything but give it the way it came. And I said, "You need to go see your dad right now." Um, and it kind of alerted her and kind of alarmed her in a sense, like, why? Like, we were just laughing and joking and having a good time. I got straight serious and I said, "No, you need to go see your dad right now." So she didn't feel comfortable going to see her dad because he didn't like the fact that, the things that we partook in for having a good time. He knew that we smoked weed and stuff, but he didn't approve. So she felt, I will tomorrow because I don't want to go right now being, all tipsy, high and whatnot. So um, the next day was too late. Um, he passed that evening. So that made me feel a kind of a way, because I didn't understand it. So another time, I had a dream. It's usually a couple weeks before things happen was the pattern, but I had the dream about my son and a friend of his, and the way that it happened was a whole lot of people were just like chasing them, beating them, fighting them, seemingly just without a cause. And with that, when I woke myself up out of my sleep, it was horrible. Um, so I shrugged it off, But usually, if I remember the dream like that, it's something to it. So I learned that later. So, anyways, a couple weeks later, that incident did happen. Whereas they were jumped by, like, it was two of them. It was just the two of them, him and his friend. And I'd say there was like 60, maybe 40 to 60 guys, jumped them, beating them, taking their shoes, the name brand shoes, Um, so, and then there was another time I had a coworker friend who, she was a little younger than me, and she kind of like would try to act like me a little bit, dress like me a little bit. Um, she was a Caucasian sister, and so I told her, I said, listen, I don't normally have dreams about females. I don't get down like that. So, excuse me, something landed on me. But, so I told her, that guy you're dating, I had a dream that he was trying to kill you. He was beating you up really bad, and so be careful. And she said, whatever, like, you probably want him. I was like, no, not at all. Totally negative. Didn't matter. So I left it alone. She copped a little bit of an attitude and didn't talk to me for a little bit until after the incident happened. She came to me on my job with dark shades on, all bruised up, beat up, 2 black eyes. And she said, oh my God, you were right. He tried to kill me. He broke in my apartment, and she lived in a really tall high rise. I want to say there were maybe 15 to 20 floors. She was way up at the top. So I want to say the 15th floor. So after he beat the crap out of her, he then had her by one ankle, holding her out the window of the 15th floor, calling her all kinds of bitches and telling her he was going to kill her. And so she just kind of came to apologize to me and let me know that, yeah, you were right. And so you see, it was always things that were not so good that I would get warnings for people and tell them things. So after the final incident, which is the one I started with, where my friend's father passed, which I was close with him too, I grew up with these guys. So we had been friends a long time, so I knew it really hurt. It hurt my heart to have to deliver such a message, which leads me into a couple of messages that I've gotten recently, and I didn't know how to word it or put it, but I've always been a person to either, I don't say a lot, I don't like to talk a lot or jaw jack. That's not my style. I kind of say what's needed to be said and, move on. So, in the first dream, it's like I'm there, almost like a fly on the wall, because it's like I'm there in spirit. I don't know, I don't see myself, but it's like I'm just standing there, I guess, listening and looking. these two men were talking. They had white jackets on. Know what profession that is, right? So these men had on white jackets, and they were talking about the people. Like, I would guess you could say the people in the world, or the people in the United States, or wherever. But they were basically just saying, we need them to, we need to do something to get them to take the, let's see, how can I word this? We need them to take the poke. We need them to take the old poke, because within it we have the sleep serum. We need them to go back to sleep. So we need them to take this. So what they were doing was trying to come up with ways they could get the people in masses to take this poke, if you will. So I wrote it down and I thought, wow, so much is going on, right? So a couple nights later, I had another dream. In this dream, white coats again, but it was like a big warehouse setting though. And they were casually talking, and there were piles of chopped up meat, right? So the meat was cut up like pieces of steak, or just like meat that's going to be sold on the market. But I'm looking at it like, why is it on the floor, and why is it in piles, this meat? So I listen, and the man is telling the other guy, this one here, this guy came from such and such, points to a pile of the meat. He points to another pile and says, this one came from that location. And I mean, there's piles of meat like throughout this warehouse. And he continued talking about each pile of meat as if it were previously a person. Like, this guy came from there. This person came from this location. And they spoke of it so casually, as if it was business as usual. So do your own research. I've known also of a lot of things that have been going on in the United States, and we just need to make ourselves aware, be careful, do everything we can to take care of ourselves. I myself personally, I make natural antibiotics, and I do sell them. I have a website, which is www.naturalhealingrx.com. RLT.com. I make natural antibiotics. I do red light therapy and other natural herbal products. I continue making more, adding more, and I always use natural products. I have been into natural herbal remedies for the last 30 years. I've raised my children on colloidal silver, the natural antibiotic that I've been making. So I continue. I've given it to my grandbabies. I continue to this day. I take it on a regular. And I don't do drugs, if you will. I use natural stuff. So self-diagnose, and I pretty much, if I need to get something tested to see what the issue is and I don't have a machine, then yes, I will go and get something checked out, see what the result is, and fix it myself. Because I don't know, I guess since I've been using natural, ooh, it's so hot. Since I've been using natural herbal remedies, like when I did have bigger issues where I had major pain, and I've tried to take the pain medications, they had a huge effect on me. Like I would just pass out, like I was sitting playing with my kids, right? I had been in a car accident. So I'm sitting there with my boys on the floor, playing, talking, eating Skittles, you know. I took my little pain pill, one of them. I think it was prescribed to take 2, but I want to say they were 800 milligrams in total that I was supposed to take. So with 400 milligrams, man, right? Just popping Skittles in my mouth, laughing and talking. That shit hit me so fast. I choked on a Skittle as I was falling asleep from just right from in the middle of talking. So this is how hard medication hits me. It's not good for me. So, you know, to each his own. And I do what I do. I love what I do. And I just wanted to share some about myself. And this is why I know that some of the messages that I get are meant to be shared. So I wanted to give a background on myself, which is, I guess, just so that you know why I take messages serious. When they stick with me like that, I know there's a reason for it. And so it's so that I can share. I want everybody to be safe. Watch your children. Watch over them closely. I've always been protective of my children, and I'm so grateful and thankful that they are grown. Now I have grandchildren, and I do the best that I can to keep up with them. If I take them somewhere, I'm not sitting back on my phone. I'm with them. If we're at the park, hey, I'm right there to where I can get to them quickly if anything were to happen. And I'm always watching around, because as I mentioned, those piles of meat for men, women, and children. That is sick. And needs to stop. It will stop. It will stop. So I just wanted to share some about myself. Send you all love. Have an amazing day. I can't believe how warm it is. Today is the 23rd of February of 2023. And when I tell you this sun is beating down, I think it's 80 degrees perhaps, but it feels amazing. My eyes are starting to water, so I'm gonna cut this video short. So have an amazing day. Stay positive. Live in your heart. And have a great day. Take care.